Okay, hi there, folks. This is a little bit of a different thing that I'm trying out here with retro racing game. Um, it's something that I want to start trying to do, though, is to kind of going through the racing games that really got me interested in the genre. Um, just basically seeing what comes out of it. Today, I'm going to be playing Indy 500. So, um, to go back to, it was about 94 or so. Basically, that was an era where lots of my friends and I had Commodore Amigas. This is in Europe, where they were pretty much more successful than they were in the United States, which is where the company was based. So, as a gaming machine, the Amiga was huge, and basically, I had one. Some of my friends had one, but basically, one of my other friends had a PC. And at this point, I didn't know that Indy 500 was out on the Amiga. I saw it in a sports gaming kind of compilation type package. Bought that, but it was for the PC. Didn't have a PC, so I had to go to my friend's house to be able to play the game that I bought. And I actually have this kind of amusing memory of when it came to be time for my exams, where obviously supposed to be going to get my kind of school leaving qualifications and kind of really important things to get done. Um, I was at my friend's house playing Indy 500 during the beginning of my French exam. And I just basically realized what time it was, ran to the school, walked in, and the French teacher, who pretty much hated me anyway, kind of just staring me down with these laser eyes. So pissed off at me she was, because I was walking into the exam about 10 minutes late. And then obviously I did my fairly standard crappy job of French, which is why she hated me, I think. Um, and That's that. Fast forward to 2005, I actually started working with the guy that made this game. I joined iRacing in 2005, worked for them until 2010. Um, so yeah, this is a pretty important game for me. Um, Many think of it as the first kind of true simulation. There's definitely been other candidates for that. There was other ones that included setup adjustments where you would make the setup adjustments, the car would kind of do roughly what it should do, with those setup adjustments. But Indy 500 was definitely the first one that kind of took that to the extreme, where basically if you don't tune the setup of the car, you don't win the game. Like you don't win the Indy 500. So yeah, it's kind of a step forward in lots of ways, and it's definitely in the running to be called the first true kind of simulation. All right, giving my gaming PC the mouse. Quit the emulator and restart it. Just sat for a while. All right. So I have kind of framed things a little bit. The software by default on is obviously yes, the music. So anyway, the software by default actually runs 4x3. But you are able to kind of crop out some at the bottom because the software ran in a letterbox. So it actually pretty much gets to very close to 16 by 9, when you actually crop things out correctly. But what I've done is just kind of not cropped out entirely and just moved it over so that I can still be on the screen. You can see my concentration face. I do actually own the game, but I'm using a cracked copy. So yeah. Oh, great. It's taking the input of my mouse. and not my keyboard. I should be able to just leave my mouse alone for a second and it should work. Yeah, it's just getting it instantly. Okay. So anyway, on the Amiga there is mouse control. On the PC, I think it was just keys. So basically I'm just going to do a few laps with keys first, and then you'll see why the mouse is better. So this is with the standard setup. Just going to let this guy go by. Alright. So basically, holding down left, I basically just have to keep pressing the left-hand turn key and then pressing the left-hand turn key to get it to get around the turn. And eventually the grip just kind of goes away, or you don't time the releasing of the left-hand turn key correctly, and you end up hitting the outside wall. But you can hear kind of how much scrubbing is actually happening with these wheels. It's you're basically turning too much, then not enough, too much, not enough, just to be able to make it around the turn. Okay, so like I said, there's quite a lot of setup adjustments, but there's also some different teams as well. So if I go in here, you can see there's the March Cosworth. Now March were massive in the 80s. This game's from 1989, I think. So March were just massive in the 90s. It yeah, they basically ruled. And you have Lola and Penske. Now, with the default setup, the Penske is definitely the fastest car, but still you would struggle to actually win a race with a default setup. Okay, so as you can see, it's yellow, which you would expect from the time. So basically, I'm just going to go straight into the race. I hate kind of fighting the mouse here. Yeah, there we go. And you can see the options that you have for a race. You have 10 laps, which has no yellow flags, no car damage. You have 30 laps, which does have yellow flags, but no car damage. And then you have 60 laps with yellow flags and with car damage, and 200 laps with yellow flags and with car damage. So let's just do 10 laps, just so you can see. Okay, it selected 30, never mind. So you can see the frame rate is pretty abysmal. So much so that I didn't even react in time for the first turn there. The crowd has filled in. And as far as the actual speedway goes, I mean, all of the major kind of details that were at the real circuit are actually in the track model. It's oof, I suck with keys. You know, the track at this point, there was no kind of grass down on the apron and stuff like that. So yeah, in fact, the best line most of the time is actually kind of down on or below the yellow line, pretty much. Oops, I just took that guy out. Which, now that I've actually started this off, like one of the major things that I think everybody did in this sim is went the wrong way, caused an enormous crash. Part of the fun, I suppose. But anyway, I'm just going to do a lap with mouse, which now I'm touching it, it stopped fighting me, so that's nice. And basically you I think, yes, you hold down the right mouse button to accelerate, and you literally just move the mouse left and right to steer with, and don't hit the wall. All right, let's try that again. So basically, the only sim that's really done mouse control recently is Live for Speed. Oops. Oh my god, I'm looking at this so bad. Mouse sensitivity is already on low. I'll switch back to the, I think it was the Lola. All right. There we go. I actually think that this might be a little bit less responsive in general. No, it's very... Seems way more sensitive than when I was just testing it before I streamed. Okay, maybe I'm getting the hang of it now. But anyway, when I actually figure this out here and actually don't drive like dirt, you'll be able to hear that the tires really don't squeal an awful lot in the turns, and that's because when you're not using keys, you're not kind of turning too much and then not enough all the time. Definitely tricky. Not sure if I can do anything about the frame rate. Because I'm getting used to the mouse sensitivity, but the frame rate is still pretty bad. I don't really know if there is anything I can do, because the Amiga was kind of a package system. Unlike PC, where obviously everybody's PC could be slightly different. Try that, see what happens. Kind of funny that it takes this long to load, considering it's an emulated game. Like, it seriously could just load instantly. Oh yeah, this actually seems better now. I'm not sure why it was so different before. So as you can hear, you know, there's very, very little in the way of screeching going around the turns. It's so much better with the mouse. $196 an hour there. Yeah, there's like no screeching round turn one there. A little bit worried about the turn two wall, so screeched them a bit there. $197. So basically, I mean, you know, in this car, like those were fairly clean laps, and it's still 197 miles an hour. So let's have a look at the other cars with the default setups. Which one am I in? That was in the March, so do the Lola. So this just sounds slow. They did such a good job with the audio for the Amiga. The PC version pretty much used the internal buzzer, like the beeper that PCs used to have inside them, that would beep when you turned it on. Yeah. So we hit 197 in the March after a few warm-up laps. See what we get this next lap in the Lola. Remember, this is with the default setup. This is a simulation, so modifying the setup. See, I'm already at 206. Like, so it's, as far as competitiveness, there's definitely a difference between the teams, which is another thing that you know, you don't see all the time for sure. Like a lot of people want kind kind of an even playing field no matter what team they pick. And that really wasn't the point with this game. So 207, I can probably get 210, I guess, with this default set. The more fuel I burn off, basically. This is definitely going to give me like a hand cramp from holding the mouse. Oh, a little bit slower that lap, so that's interesting. So maybe 208 is about as good as that car can get with the default set. Oh, that's not what I want. Yeah, when I have my hand on the mouse, it doesn't fight me. Okay, so let's see what the default set on the Penske gets us. Again, just after a few warm-up laps. This acceleration is so much faster than the red one, which I think was the Lola. I feel like I'm having to lift to make the turns in this car, and I didn't in the other two. Oops. Try that again. So the left mouse button is brake. So what I'm thinking I might try doing is just tapping the left mouse button going into the turn and see if I can get this this default setup to turn. Oops. I do kind of wonder if there's a difference in setup that makes this kind of more sensitive with the mouse. This specific car. Why does it always seem to be that car? Okay. So I tried a little lift there and I don't feel like it was enough. Okay. Yeah. Turn 2 is really... Like I always feel like the wall's kind of coming towards me, which I guess is realistic. All right. Try and keep it smooth, just so I can get like a comparison of what the default setup on each car actually gives us. It's really difficult to hold speed in the turns with this car. But it flies down the straights. Come on, come on. There we go. Made it round turn 2. Okay. This will almost be a representative lap. Yeah, 2:14. It's so much faster than the other two cars. It's unreal. Oops. Oops. And that's him wrecked. Yeah. Like if I can't keep it off the wall by myself, I don't know how I'm supposed to survive in traffic, really. I mean, with this default set, with this car, I mean, it's the Penske just... So I think the March gave us, what was it, 205, the Lola gave us 208-ish, and the Penske 215 without a completely clean lap, which, yeah. The one that I always used to go for is the Lola, and that's because I felt like when it was tuned, it seemed to have a better engine. Not sure if that's actually true. So, one thing that's interesting with this game too is the fact that it brought in instant replays. So if you look up at the top of the screen, you can see this is the in-car view, behind, track, TV, and Sky. What you'll also notice too is that I drove this in the Penske, but because I've switched teams, it's switched the team from the replay too. So that's always a little bit weird. But I guess there's not enough memory for it to have stored the previous team that was being used after you've switched, which makes sense back in the time this was made. Okay, so practice. So at the top of the screen you can see there is some advice on adjustments that you can make. So let's have a look through those. It says adjustments F1 to F10. So that's obviously just lap info. Standings is F2. And then I think if I do the down... Oh no, hang on. So F2 again. Oh, there we go. So the kind of the greater than and smaller than keys on the keyboard, you can kind of scroll through. So let's see what pole is. The pole is currently 229 miles an hour. So basically, this year's cars, 2019, are kind of relatively evenly matched with these ones from 1988, I think it's based on. So yeah. Anyway, F3, this allows you to change your fuel. So basically, you could start off when you're doing a qualifying run, for example, with the yellow light on your dash actually flashing because you're about to run out of fuel. So the projected lap says 0, so that's not right because we're not actually moving. But obviously, you've got setup adjustments that that you can do. That was F4, right? Okay, so no, this is F4. Basically, can put more wing on the front and back, or less wing on the front and back. it reduces drag, obviously, increases speed, but obviously affects how fast you can go around the turns. The more wing you have, the better you are in the turns, but the slower you are on the straights. That's the gist. So here you can see the temperature of the right front, and yeah, you can adjust the tire that's being used, which basically it's pretty insane that this is actually modeled, and you can see as I'm sat here in the pits doing nothing, the temperature of the tire is actually dropping because I'm not kind of scrubbing it across the surface of the racetrack, so it's not actually staying warm. Which one was that? That was F5. This is F6. So what this is stagger. So basically, because Indy has 4 left-hand turns, and there's basically there's more time lost in the turns versus the straights. So what they do is they basically would have larger tires on the right-hand side. So the car is basically always trying to turn. So as you're going down the straights, you're turning right. And then when it gets into the turn, you're kind of almost letting the car do what it wants to do naturally, rather than actually fighting it into the turn. Hope that makes sense. So next we have tire pressures. So usually with tire pressures, the higher the tire pressure is, the faster it'll be in a straight line, but the less kind of handling it'll offer you in turns. And obviously the higher the pressure, the hotter it gets, I think, as well. Shocks, I think you can do all 4 shocks, soft and firm. Basically firm, the general gist of firm shocks in a setup is that when it's firm, the body of the car rolls less and it handles better. Camber, as you can see from the image at the top, it's the angle of the tire. I think you can adjust all 4 again. I don't actually remember how to. Maybe enter or space. Because that adjusts it. So what does space do? Okay, so space switches. I mean, look at that. 1.75 degrees of angle. So yeah, what you're basically trying to do, I think, with the camber is to have like under load in the turn, have as much of the tire surface that you're getting the grip from in contact at the same time. With a completely flat setup, it would be quite likely that as you go into the turn, and with what little body roll there actually is in the car, when the car starts to do this, the tire obviously does the same thing, and you would only have grip from this kind of inside edge of the tire, and this side might not even be touching the track surface. So you obviously try to adjust things to get as much grip as you can get. I'm sure someone will respond and tell me that I'm wrong on all of these, but this is my understanding. So gear, here you have your gear ratios. So once you've adjusted your setup and figured out what kind of speed you can actually get to, you then have to select the right gear ratio to actually give you enough oomph to get to that speed, but also not kind of overdo it to where you blow your engine, because that's something which is possible in Indy 500. So yeah. All right, so I'm going to keep it on 10 to do like a test or practice or qualifying run even. Um, Now my problem with this car was straight line speed, right? See what kind of speed we're getting down the straight, because I know the Penske, well, if pole position is like 230, like if I'm not pulling 230 on the straight, then I need less downforce. God, this car is so much easier to drive than the Penske, though. Yeah, I'm barely getting like 215 at the end of the straights. So, yeah. uh, what kind of top speed this gives us? Well, it makes it a lot easier to spin. Let's try that again. I may have to adjust more of the setup before this is even slightly stable. I just kind of want to know what my top speed is. Yeah, with less downforce, it's definitely easier to spin this thing, which is what the Penske's problem was, obviously. Oh yeah, we're approaching 230 by the end of the straights right there. Okay. So where were we? I do want to stop it spinning though. Why is it going backwards? No, mouse, stop fighting me. Okay. So I do want to stop it spinning, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more downforce on the rear. I think. I'm going to keep it even until I've done the rest of the setup. Okay. All right. So why drop in frames? No, I've only dropped 9. Okay. Okay. So right front. 25 on the right. 24, 24. Yeah. Jeez, it's really trying to get away from me. Probably don't have a long enough gear ratio for the speed I'm about to pull. Or maybe I do. Maybe that's why this car was so sluggish to accelerate, is because it was already in a longer gear than it should have been. Okay, the oil light is flashing. You can see a red light over there. Once you get up to speed, this actually handles okay right now. A lot of screeching in the turns though. $219, that's much better. Felt like I had to lift out then or I wasn't going to make the turn. I'm actually catching one of the AI cars, which is a new experience. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to be able to pass anybody in the race with this mouse without, like, ramming them out of the way. Oh, really, Woody? I wonder why. I'm actually seeing it on my readout. Oh, now the mouse pointer's stuck on the screen. At least you can see my turning import. I really hate passing the AI because it usually ends in an accident. That's totally my fault. Okay, so 222. We're definitely heading in the right direction with the setup. But this is low fuel. Yeah. No, I don't want you to do anything stupid right now. Okay, so should I leave the mouse pointer on the screen or not? It doesn't matter really. Okay. Whoops. Yep. Never gonna go well. Alright, so I don't know how much fuel I actually need for a 10-lap race. But I'm just gonna see what my pace is like. Get out of the way. For God's sake. I also just need to get used to traffic too. Car sat in the middle of the road. What does the fuel say? Projected laps, it says 5. So we're not going to make the end of the race on this much fuel. Good to know. Oh my god, let me go up. There we go. Oh, that might be enough fuel. What we should do is qualify. Okay, so qualification for the Indy 500 is 4 laps. And it's the average speed of the 4 laps is the order to start the race. So I've probably got too much fuel on. But whatever. Should have waited until after qualifying to fill the fuel tank up. So 2:21 for the first lap. That's a decent opening lap. It's not a pole time, or it's not a pole speed. A little bit early on the turn in there. Scrubbed off a lot of speed in the final turn. 2:23 again. This is the last lap, so damn it. This lap's going to be about 2:20, I think. Well, my average should be about 2:20. Oh my god. Okay, so this is now probably going to be about a 2:10, which will take my average down to maybe 2:16. Oh, 2:20, okay. So I'm starting 10th, according to the top of the screen. Okay, I can do that. Okay, we should have enough fuel on board for this race. I just have to be kind to my tires, kind to traffic. We're in 7th already. Kind of wonder if we have the speed to catch some of these guys in front, though. Oops. Come on, 3 wide. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so we took that guy out and got the position. 3 wide is something that I should not be attempting with this mouse control problem that I seem to have developed. Oops. Wheels on the grass there. Not advisable either. Okay, so because there's no yellow flags, that car that I hit will be sat on the track somewhere. Okay, they're down off the track, so that's good. But there's another one up there. Okay, got to remember that that guy's there. Okay, so the leader is only doing 2:16, I think. Or is that me? No, that's me. So before the end of the race, oops, I think we will start to lap traffic. We're definitely catching this guy. Okay, this is a lap car. Wow, I have royally screwed that up. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest save in the history of the Speedway. Okay. So what I may do is I may, let's see, there we go. I'm gonna go and, I mean that should be enough fuel for qualifying. I'm gonna re-qualify. If I can start further ahead, then I may be able to do a better job racing. .222, that's okay. Again, it's not a pole speed. God, I lost so much speed around those two turns. Last lap. Okay. 8th place. Am I not further down with a faster speed? I think I am. Okay. Now I need to go into practice and up the fuel again, don't I? So let's have a go at a 10-lap race. Come on, come on, come on. Got the stress of mouse control. Keep kind of swerving back and forth. Fourth place. Top three are all right in front. It's going to be really difficult to pass these guys without contact. I had to lift there. Off the grass. Lifted going into the turn there because I didn't want to catch him mid-turn. What I want to happen is to get him down the start-finish straight here. Come on, get it done. Damn it. All right, Mr. Penske. My finger like hurts from gripping the mouse and trying to be precise. Not quite as good of a start there as last time. Hey, how are you doing, Jim? My goal for the stream is actually to win a race of any length whatsoever without turning around and basically crashing into everyone, so that I can then pass the wrecked cars and win by cheating. I actually want to win the race like on merit, rather than how we all used to do it as kids. Yeah, for me, as I I actually said at the beginning of the stream, but I had issues with the game audio then. Basically, I had a Commodore Amiga, which was a fairly big system in Europe, and like bigger than it was in the States, even though they were a US company. And I saw this as part of a compilation called Sports Gaming, and Indy 500 was included in that, but it was for the IBM PC. So we had this group of friends that all had the Commodore Amigas and everything, and we used to kind of rip on and kind of take the piss out of the guy who had a PC. And then as soon as I found this game, I basically was at his house all the time playing my game that I bought on his PC. And F1 GP was my kind of mainstay for a really long time. So yeah, basically I used to go to this guy's house and play Indy 500 all the time. And during my school exams, you know, for your kind of finishing grade, for what would be high school in the States, I was like 10 minutes late for my French exam because I was at his house and had lost track of time playing Indy 500. And yeah, it's just fantastic game for the time. It like really is. It just has gameplay elements that are kind of almost missing on a lot of today's, which is crazy to think about. Okay, here we go. Nice and smooth. And don't crash into the AI cars. I'm really not being smooth. Okay. So that's one car that I've just wrecked. That's two. See, the more I see, the longer that it takes for that yellow flag to go away up at the top left, and it's just come back on again. I'm absolutely sure that there's just a big pile of cars somewhere around the track now that is going to make actually racing kind of useless. So off we go again. And deep breath. I definitely have to be patient because I don't have precise enough control with the mouse. Fifth place after 2 laps. The problem I have too is that I'm not just going to be dealing with these guys. It's the grey and the white car that start 32nd and 33rd are so slow that you're lapping them by like lap 5. Come on, I want to be past him by the turn. Damn! Okay, I'm not seeing yellow flags, so I think that guy ended up off the racetrack. I think I hit him in turn 3, so we'll see where he is. Oh, there he is on the outside. Okay. So this is where we start catching the back markers. Please let me get past him before the turn. Okay, it's still green, so maybe he ended up off the track too. Okay, here's the lap. Here's the lap down, guys, is what I was about to say. I actually don't know how I missed half of those. Okay. No. Just no. But does this count? Or does it not? Oh, I am seeing lots of yellow flags. So there's like piles of cars now, everywhere. So if I was Nim Cross, I would probably... Yep, there we go. I'd probably say that those guys on the outside should have lifted. So it's their own fault. Alright. So, note to self is that I can't pass people going into the turns. I don't even know what I hit that time. Yeah, no, it's not looking good, is it? Oh my god, I hate that the mouse fights me. The mouse always wants to move down on the menu. Straight. Yes. I quite like that the mouse pointer is on the screen. I did that by accident, but it lets you see my input. Just trying to be patient. Half of what I'm saying is to try to convince myself to do it. We're in 5th place, and that was clean so far. Why was there a car? That car pit for some reason? Taking too long to get past these guys. He's going to be on the outside of me going into the turn. Yep. Okay, so I've caught up with guys off. I don't even know how I missed him. Okay. All right. Got the stress of trying to witness. It does seem that the AI seem unable to cope with someone being on the inside going into the turn. But in a lot of these situations where the place that I'm getting a run, it's difficult to pass anywhere else, kind of. And I'm not precise enough to keep the car down on the apron. This seems like a much tighter race though. Like everybody's really kind of stacked up ahead of me. There's at least 4 cars right there. I got past. And then screwed up. They are pretty, I think it's just general stupidity, really. Like, very simplistic. Too wide. Oh, that actually kind of worked out for me. So I can see third and second, but I don't know where the leader is. I also don't know where those wrecked cars ended up. Or wrecked car, I should say. Okay. Trying to convince myself now that I'm learning something each attempt. Except from I'm absolutely sure that I'm not learning a damn thing. Like, being careful isn't working for me. Because I'm incapable of being careful. I think that's the first time I've ever held it down that smoothly on the apron. The leader, like, and their grey pixels are kind of merging into the walls. I think in 88, 89, only parts of the concrete wall were actually painted. I don't think the back straight was. So I guess that's why it's dark grey. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch the leader until he hits traffic. Which probably means that I don't have a perfect setup on this car yet, because I should be able to catch him. Okay, he's catching traffic now. And I have to get past them. Yeah, we are leading. I don't know how I missed him. Okay. And now I'm second. Possibly about to be third. Get off the grass. Okay. Hopefully I'll get a well-timed lap down car. Put me back in the lead. I'm not very good between 1 and 2 and between 3 and 4. I don't get out to the outside wall at all. So I don't know how much speed I'm kind of losing there. Last lap. My whole arm is shaking. Like the tension of holding the mouse. That's monumentally frustrating. 1 turn to go. Alright, instant replay. So I just drifted up, lifted off. That was close, though. Yes, damn indeed. That was very, very close. That was actually a decent attempt, I think. Oh, jeez. That was actually really close that last time. A little bit of bad luck with where I caught that car. And then, yeah, just kind of lifted off. Maybe if I hadn't have lifted off, I would have made the turn, but it kind of didn't feel like it. I guess, you know, I am getting a little bit more used to the control. At least I feel like I can go side by side with someone down a street now. That was so damn close. Like one turn from victory. That's ridiculous. Still seeing yellows, so I think there was a pile up. Yeah. Okay, I can carry on racing with those two parked there. That's fine. Pretty excited for the race tomorrow. That's what made me think to play this. I have the IndyCar Racing Trap Pack and IndyCar Racing Brickyard add-on as well, which might be interesting to look back on. Yeah, I did see. I did read in that it's probably going to rain at some point on race day. I don't know why I'm not catching these guys, but what I was going to say is that I might have to rely on the traffic. I kind of think by now I probably could have just like done a 30-lap race, which might give me enough time to kind of get to the front. But it's also a longer distance to lose if I screw it up, which is likely. So do I go for it? I probably shouldn't have done. Oh my god. One thing I do like about this is how every race is different. Like even the very start of the race, like if I press my right mouse button now, that's the accelerator, and it also automatically shuts off this screen and starts the race when I press the accelerator. And every single start, it's different. Like one of the cars either side of me is faster or slower. You know, so every race is genuinely different. I was just showing that wall who's boss there at the beginning. And that one. Hey Water, how's it going? Yeah, this was top of the line at one point. And the sound on this Amiga version is so much better than it was on PC. Where it used the on motherboard kind of buzzer sound for the audio. Used to drive my mother insane with it. Whoops. Oh my god, get off the grass. Okay, so I think we're in a healthy third place, and should start catching slower cars pretty soon, unless I screw it up. Okay. That grey car is a lap down. So is the white one. The frustration. There we go. I can't believe I got so close earlier. just the speed, the difference in speed between me and those lap down cars is massive. Like, I have a problem going into the turns side by side with people that are the same speed as me. It's feels almost impossible with the lap down cars. Can't see this one going well. Another problem with the mouse control is if you get used to moving it to a particular position and then you move the mouse when you're on the menu, it's almost like relearning the controller each time you race. What is happening? I think I hit him then, but he didn't crash. Yeah, this is freaking me out here. Okay then. So now I'm just going to be taken out by the lap down cars when I go to lap them. I'm pretty sure someone who's behind me is faster than me. Yeah, I can still hear the AI behind me. God, I'm so bad at this. Okay, don't spin, don't spin, don't spin. I hate you. The amount of time that the yellow flag was waving there. Yep, and there it is again. So yeah, the back straight is now littered with cars, I'm sure. And it's pretty much potluck whether I hit one or not. Oh my god. Okay. So, one thing that I did notice a couple of races ago is that I had the boost down. So I'm actually going to rerun qualifying with the boost up. A little bit less fuel. Yeah, I mean, this is the granddaddy, as they say, of sim racing. What really gets me with this is I just did 227, like, and this is 88, 89 era cars, and that's the speed they're doing now. It's pretty amazing, the speed that they used to go around this place. I mean, they did have a wider racetrack. They didn't have the safer barrier, and they did have the apron. But yeah. .231. I actually might be in with a shot of pole. Now that I've bothered to turn the boost up. Too wide on entry there. Too early on entry there. Still gonna get it done. So I'm second. Okay, so the Penske beat me. Middle of the first row. Okay. Righty. So that saves a lot of the passing. Come on, stop fighting me. That up. Okay, so putting the boost up made a lot of difference. I just accidentally pressed the brake. But you see at the bottom left where there's like a little number 9 in a box. That was lower earlier. And if I remember rightly, I think that's the boost. But I know that as long as I can hear the AI behind me, which I can, they're right there waiting to pounce as soon as I screw up. Which I will. It's just about how badly. .9-second lead. .8. So basically I'm running qualifying speeds, and they are running 200 lap, 500 mile race speeds. Oops. Oh god, here we go. I hate you all. Okay, so I hit one of them. Just depends where he ended up. I don't even know how I hit him and haven't hit other ones before that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to catch him, right? That was going well for a bit. Surprised I got around there because I was side by side with him for a bit. Yeah, no pit lane limiter. Which is just... it's crazy when you think about it, really. That, like, just look more than anything else that so many people didn't, like, die in a horrific pit lane accident. Like, I know that there was accidents here and there, especially at Indy in... I remember reading about the press, like the press stand getting wiped out by the pace car driver, for example. Who lost control after the race had started. My dogs are being so good tonight. It's weird. There's a yellow flag up there and I did not cause that. This is the game's way of going, screw you. Yeah. That's another yellow flag and I did not cause that. Oh my god. There's gonna be cars, like, everywhere. I think if I didn't cause it, the race is fair game. But I just missed the end of the pit wall right there. Okay, I've got to remember there is a car parked on the apron. Right there. Thought I was going to hit that. Don't use the apron. Okay. Yeah, F1 was ridiculous for so long with just the sheer amount of people that were in the pit lane. I'm trying to do like a 3-point turn, it's not working. Yeah, and the guys in the pit lane, like even during the beginning of some of the refueling era, there would be the guy putting the fuel in would have like a fire suit on, but then you'd have guys with shorts everywhere. Like all that exposed skin to burn. So yeah, that was definitely the game's way of saying that it doesn't care how careful I'm going to be about not hitting other cars or getting out in front. It's still going to find a way to stop me from finishing the race. It's just going to litter the track with dead cars. On the upside, I'm so much more comfortable with the mouse control now. He says as he completely screws up. You can map controllers. The emulator actually has a lot of options for that. You could probably even emulate a wheel to a mouse and actually use a wheel. And with this game, I don't think that would be... This game, I don't think that would, like, there would be controller lag that's significant enough to cause a problem. So yeah, whenever I've moved the mouse, it really screws me for a bit. Trying to find out where kind of the center is. Alright, 2:15 that lap. Yeah, Water, I did adjust the setup to where I was pretty evenly matched with them. Oof. So I think it's a decent kind of setup that I've put on the car. But I have the boost and everything up, which are all real setup adjustments that they can make on the real cars. But basically, this car would not last 200 laps, which is the actual race distance of the full race. And all of the AI cars are driving like they're in a 200 lap race rather than a 10 lap race. So, yeah. Like, it's not hugely different. Like, I did manage to be in the lead with literally about a quarter of a mile to go. One time without the boost turned up, and then I smacked into a car that was a lap down. Since then I've turned the boost up because it basically gives me more time to be nicer to the back markers, to the cars that are a lap down. But I kind of keep screwing up various things. And then the last race that I did well in, the game decided to make two of the AI that basically never crash into each other. So I didn't cause an accident that time. The game did it by itself, just to screw me over. Yeah, Jimmy's a great guy. I don't know how he actually interacts with his chat as much as he does. I think with certain things though, there's definitely places that I know that on a lot of tracks I could read the chat, but it would be like once a lap sort of thing. I would, you know, be on a straight and if there's no cars in front of me, then that's when I can read the chat, and I would know that and do that. But yeah, my phone just peculiarly turned itself off. With like a big green bar across the screen. Kind of hoping that's not my phone broken. Okay. Please don't mess it up. Alright, it's 3 down. The thing is, I'm only halfway through the race, so it's like those cars that I just passed, I'm going to have to pass them again, and all of the other like 31 cars that were stacked up behind the grey one and the white one are all going to be passing them as well, which gives the game opportunities for them to make contact with each other. So even if I don't screw up, there's always a chance that they will. Get off the grass. Oh geez, I literally just turned right when I meant to turn left. And you know why? Because I was reading the chat. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. Did you see that? That was just like the movie Driven. I'm in 4th. Oh. So, you want to know what just happened? So the last time I qualified, I lowered the fuel first. I never put it back up. Yeah, Jimmy doesn't have the best of luck with like the events that you know he wants to do well in. And yeah, and it's like whether it is, you know, games locking up, games crashing, a back marker crashing into him, or, you know, like a whole array. Like, I think he was in a race once when I was watching and his steering wheel came off, like just fell off the thing in front of him. Yeah. Well, I am so massively happy for him with his success. Like, his channel is crazy. It's just really cool to see what seems like a nice person. Getting that kind of support from a community. It does. This guy's keeping up with me right now. I haven't said this anywhere publicly, but I'm actually getting out of the industry myself. I worked for iRacing from 2005 till 2010, and ISI I started in 2010. Studio 397 I started in 2016? And I've basically worked half for ISI and half for Studio 397 since 2016. But I'm done. So actually this month is my last full month with both of those companies. So I think, yeah, nice to have a change. You know, and if I really think about it, the reason why, like I ran a sim racing website from 1999 until 2005. So, oops. So like if you think about it in that way, I've basically been involved with the sim racing industry, I guess you could say, since 1999. I really hate these back markers. And this AI. So great for the time. Did you see that? Yeah, I've been with 397, but when I joined them, I told them that I didn't want to do anything, like no announcements or whatever of that sort. I just did other stuff instead. So they honored that, which was nice of them. So I've been lurking in the background instead. Essentially kind of an ordinary job is my plan. Because one of the things that I've actually found, especially in the last 5 years or so, is that I stopped enjoying racing sims. See, there's a yellow flag, and that's not my fault. I get a good start, and it's like the game is like, nah. So yeah, one of the things I've found within the past 5 years or so is that I stopped enjoying racing sims, and it just, this probably happened before I even moved over to 397, but I just kind of stopped running even our own racing sim, and I think it is due to pretty much working around the racing sim. I'd rather be a customer, kind of. So yeah. And that's also a little bit why something like this stream is kind of a cathartic type thing. It's I think going back and playing some of these older ones that kind of gave me the passion in the first place is probably a really good place to start. I don't understand how I've been kicking this Penske's ass, like, every restart that I've done, and then all of a sudden he's basically on pace with me. But like I said earlier, I do like that every race is different and not like it's kind of scripted or anything. Yeah, that's a good way to explain it. Oops. It's interesting how distracted I can be by the car in front kind of taking my sight away. Like if I'm going around by myself, or if I'm far enough back from him, I can pick my line entering the turn and get a nice smooth arc. But once he's right in front of me and I'm like lifting off and starting to get nervous of hitting him, it's like he kind of takes my ability to hit the apex away. Okay. You deal with the bat markers. Make a hole for me. Oh god. Mind the pit wall, pit wall, pit wall. There we go. Oh, what the hell was that? I hate them. But he just flew through these guys. That was a Scott Dixon move there on the grass. Oh good, I'm in the pit lane. Well, that was a decent way to avoid the AI there. Alright. I don't get, like, every time I've started this race, that Penske has been thoroughly beaten. Except this time. He's still there on the inside. No, there he goes. Okay. Oh god. Well, at least it's not the Penske. What the hell? Kind of gave him a taste of his own medicine there. so he's well off the track. This guy's going pretty fast. He actually pulled away from me there by 0.2. Like, I think I've done a fairly good job with, like, when I left iRacing, like, I tried to not, like, burn any bridges or whatever, but I don't think it kind of, like, I don't think some of them even still feel okay that I moved on. But I don't feel like either ISI or Studio 397 will kind of feel like a bridge has been burned, you know? Like with ISI, I even recommended someone to replace me, and that's the person who is replacing me, so I don't think I could be much more supportive there. Oh, for God's sake. He must have flew through that traffic there. That's not him. Okay, he's 2.7 seconds ahead of me. I don't see how the hell I'm going to catch him. He needs to get kind of held up by traffic. It was 2.7, now it's 3.6. Holy hell. Only I could get close to hitting a parked car in the middle of the grass. Yeah, I think, you know, I think the difference, you know, for this is that, like with both companies, it's like, you know, I just, you know, think something else will make me happier. You know, that's an easy thing to be happy for. With iRacing, you know, leaving them was different. It was about, for me financially and for, you know, starting a family and everything, financially kind of moving up that way. So yeah. So this game then, huh? Well, the good thing is that I know I have enough fuel because I don't need any fuel because the engine's not running. Yep. Okay. That's the silver lining right there. Yeah, it was a Honda engine. That's what it was. Okay. Hang on. What time is it? 11:12. Okay. Alright. Kind of wanted to just check what time it was. I didn't want practice. This is so annoying how the game supports mouse and keyboard, but the mouse kind of fights. Alright, here we go. This is the one. Definitely. Kind of like the last one was definitely the one as well. But this one's definitely the one. More definitely than the last one was definitely. The guy behind me is really fast. One of the things that I used to notice when playing this on old machinery was that the frame rate would get massively worse when there was a crash. For some reason, for that previous lap, the frame rate was just awful, like worse than it normally is. But there was no yellow flag. Now there's a yellow flag. And of course I get to be the first person who encounters any stopped cars. There was one on the grass there. Maybe that's it. The trouble is that I know that the car behind me is going to fly through those cars. Yeah, he caught me by 0.8 of a second on that lap. It's like I have to absolutely maximize the clear track so that when I get traffic I can actually get through it without losing the position. I feel like I have the most stupid look of concentration on my face. I feel like my eyebrows are like pushing into my eyes. All right. Okay. You know what's really annoying is that it was actually fine. The time when I was taken out by a car that was a lap down in the final corner while leading, the engine was fine. It might be because of the boost. So I might put that to 8, see what happens. But anyway, I actually drove a pretty good race that last race. Yeah. So 220 is definitely a little bit slower, so putting the boost down has made a difference on overall speed. But it does mean that they are closer behind me, and I have to do an even better job in traffic. He's actually closing on me. Yeah, 0.3. Did I move the gear ratio the right way? I really hope I did. I guess we'll find out, like if the engine blows in 3 laps here, then I know that there's something else going on. I didn't, I moved it the wrong way. I only need an extra lap, so that might be enough. Sincerely hoping that tomorrow's race, the real Indy 500, is a lot cleaner than this one. Good night, Water. Thanks for coming and chatting and everything. Nice to see you. Chatting makes a big difference, actually. It's really changes the experience of streaming quite a bit. Oh God. Okay, that was some wheel-to-wheel stuff there. I hate how I get unsighted and miss the turns when I'm around them. I also hate that the buffer is less than half a lap long on the replay. Yeah, because I have been through turns too wide with them, you know. But I think if you maybe it's something to do with like closing speed. With the back markers, my closing rate is obviously just too fast for them to kind of react normally. Yeah, that's true. I actually don't feel like there's like a totally bad car in this year's field, and I think it's because they actually had to qualify their way in. Like when there's only been 33 entries or whatever, the past couple of years, I feel like there's been a couple of cars in the race that really were just not good enough. And this year I feel like it's actually a really good field. Frame rate went down again. Yeah, it's... No, I really like too that McLaren didn't buy their way in. I don't know what to say about that, really. I mean, yes, I slowed up, but he drove straight in the... Yeah, the yellow flag's still going, so there's obviously a big wreck. Oops. Yeah, like I'm glad that McLaren didn't buy their way in. I think it would have kind of been damaging. Like, more so than not qualifying, really. Yeah, he gave room for me there. But I was alongside him for a long time as well. Like if you think about just the frame rate here, I'm going like 15-20 feet each frame. So if the AI's awareness is only updating every 15-20 feet, it could be even less. I can see why they're a bit stupid. So he's right behind me. Probably catch up with AI on this straight. Yep, comes. Didn't even see the white car. All right. Okay, come here, you. See if I can catch you. Which may not actually be possible. Yeah, I have a real problem with that turn. I keep totally expecting them to not take that line. Did I just wipe my qualifying time? I bet I did. No? Okay. It's starting to get tempting to do it how I did as a kid and just turn the wrong way, take everybody out, and then drive 10 laps through to yellow flag. Honestly, it finds a way every race. But hey, you know, I keep having to tell myself that the reason why I remember and love most of these games is because of how damn hard they were. And when they left me feeling like I accomplished something, it was because it was really hard to do it. Catching these guys pretty early this race. The Penske car was 0.4 seconds behind me. can't have actually got through that AI cleanly. I think the only thing that was better on PC with this game was the frame rate. The sound was massively better on Amiga. I think he's catching me, unfortunately. He was 1.5 seconds last lap. 1.0. Yeah, I'm fairly sure it was smoother on PC. That's because that's my memory too. But yeah, we could both be, you know, misremembering. Use a political term. Oh god, that was close. Okay, this is where I try to avoid doing a JR Hildebrand. Oh god, he's right behind me. Oh my god. Oh. Oops. Like he was totally catching me, like lap after lap after lap. Yeah. Oh, and then I wreck. Okay. What do I do? Press escape. Nice. I remember one of the ending screens here has yeah, and then there's one with the trophy, I think. Yeah, I did. I Earnhardted him instead of Hildebrand. Yeah, there's the trophy. Okay. Cool. So that took a long time. And a lot of attempts. How long have I been streaming? Let's see. 2 hours and 19 minutes since I had to restart the stream. So 3 hours and 20 minutes it's taken. Okay. You know, it seems kind of wasted to have used 60 frames a second on the stream. I probably could have got away with 10. Yeah. Alright. There we go. That was Indy 500. I am probably going to keep doing this. I really quite like going through some of these older sims. What I've been thinking of doing too is, like I've been thinking about this for years, I just haven't had the passion to do it, basically. I want to set up like a website where I kind of feature a lot of the old sims and stuff, and kind of show people how we got where we are, because in this day and age we have all of these really impressive sims and we don't know, you know, kind of the history as well as we could of each developer, what they brought to the table first, stuff like that. Like, this is a really important title that you know, everybody should know as much as possible about, know how, you know, for the time it's just amazing. So that's my dog's tail now whipping away. They've been really good for this stream. Like, normally I have to let them out or whatever during. Been good. Anyway, thanks for chatting, Jim and Water, and thank you to Woody as well, who told me that earlier on in the stream I didn't have any sound from the game, which I was really annoyingly streaming without for a while. But yeah, looking forward to the Indy 500 tomorrow, and might actually stream tomorrow night or Monday morning, whichever kind of works out. Okay, thanks. Bye bye. Good night.